Thank you so much for joining us this evening as we celebrate the achievements of the EMT class that tonight we recognize not just as an EMT class, but we recognize as our newest EMTs, our newest responders in our community who have answered the call to serve. And as we come together, it's my privilege as president of Isothermal Community College to step forward and just pause for a moment to share with you why this matters so much here. Why it matters that these individuals who have been working tirelessly, and I can say tirelessly, although I bet that there were some moments when they were tired, but they kept working. They came together day after day, weekend after weekend, over and above their normal routines, taking time away from all of you who are present because they wanted to do more. And so as we celebrate tonight, I just want to say that it is a privilege to be able to serve in a place where we can support people who are so passionate about our community, who are so passionate about serving those who live and work around us in community. So as we come together tonight, I ask you to join in the celebration, not just watch, but really join in this celebration and recognize that we're seeing transition from someone who said, I may step forward and do something. I may be interested, to someone who said, not just I will, but I can and I will. And so these individuals have done that. They've proven they can because of the opportunities they've had here with their instructors. And as we go forward tonight, they continue to commit to the I will serve our community. So for that, it is my great pleasure to convene this celebration and to thank these students who now are our newest EMTs for their service. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Scott Queen, and I have the privilege of serving as the Vice President of Economic and Workforce Development here at Isothermal Community College. Tonight, we gather to celebrate achievement, perseverance, and the remarkable dedication of the 16 graduates before us. This is a moment that represents not just the completion of a rigorous program, but the beginning of a career defined by service, compassion, and courage. In 1974, President Gerald Ford authorized EMS Week to celebrate EMS professionals and the important work they do in our nation's communities. EMS Week is presented by the American College of Emergency Physicians in partnership with the National Association of Emergency Medical Technicians. This year, coincidentally, National EMS Week is May 17th through 23rd. And within EMS Week, Monday is designated as Education Day, highlighting public education programs and EMS professionals' education. And what better way to observe the Education Day than with an EMT graduation ceremony? The EMT Basic Program is a 280-hour class designed to prepare students to provide emergency medical care in pre-hospital settings such as ambulances, fire departments, rescue squads, and emergency response agencies. The course combines classroom instruction, hands-on laboratory training, and clinical experiences to teach essential life-saving skills, including patient assessment, CPR, airway management, trauma care, oxygen administration, childbirth assistance, and emergency response operations. Upon successful completion of the course, graduates are eligible to take the North Carolina State EMT examination, allowing them to begin careers in emergency medical services and public safety. To our graduates, congratulations. You have endured long nights of studying and hours of hands-on skills experience. You have pushed yourselves academically, physically, and emotionally to prepare for one of the most important roles in our community, responding when people are at their most vulnerable. You have chosen a profession in which every shift has the power to change someone's life. That decision speaks volumes about your character and your calling. As you know, the EMS profession is one of extraordinary responsibilities. EMTs step into situations where uncertainty is the norm and quick thinking can save a life. They bring calm to chaos. They treat not just injuries, but the fears and anxieties of the people they serve. They are the first link in the chain of survival, often the first comforting voice and the first sign that help has arrived. I know this from personal experience. When I was 25 years old, I left work early on a Friday afternoon to run some errands. I was on my way home when it began to rain. I was traveling down a 2-lane road behind another vehicle. The driver in front of me, who was not traveling at an excessive rate of speed, encountered standing water in the roadway, causing him to lose control of his vehicle. I watched in shock as he desperately tried to regain control. I'll never forget the feeling of anxiety and complete helplessness in the moment as I watched the scene unfold. Unfortunately, the driver overcorrected, crossed the center line, and hit an oncoming car head-on. Here I was on the scene of this terrible accident with minimal first aid training. I didn't know what I was going to do, and mind you, this was during a time when cell phones were not as easily accessible as they are today. I share this story with you for 2 reasons. First, related to my previous comment, EMTs are often potentially the first comforting voice and the first sign that help has arrived. I know on that given day, I will never forget the feeling of relief that came over me when an off-duty EMT appeared on the accident scene. And second, and please don't take this the wrong way, I hope I never have to see you in your official capacity as an EMT. But if I ever do, I will take comfort in knowing I am being cared for by an individual who has trained among the best at Isothermal Community College. Let's give these graduates a well-deserved round of applause. And now, to the families and friends in the audience tonight, thank you. You have encouraged these graduates through every challenge, every exam, every shift. You adjusted schedules, eased anxieties, and provided the support system that allowed them to succeed. This accomplishment belongs to you as well. Let's give our families and friends a round of applause. And finally, we also want to take a moment to recognize and express our deepest gratitude to the partners and organizations who helped make this day possible. To our local public safety agencies, thank you for opening your doors, sharing your expertise, and mentoring these future providers. Your support ensures our graduates experience real-world learning that cannot be replicated in a classroom alone. If you teach in this program, or if you represent one of our partnering agencies, or both, please stand so we can recognize you. Graduates, as you move forward into this noble profession, remember the value that brought you here, the values that brought you here. Compassion, integrity, teamwork, and resilience. Continue learning, continue growing, and continue serving with the same dedication you've shown throughout your training. Our community is safer and stronger because you have chosen this path. Tonight we celebrate your accomplishments. Congratulations to the Isothermal Community College 2026 Emergency Medical Technician Basic Class. Your journey is just beginning, and we couldn't be more proud. And now I would like to invite Michael Crater to the podium for the presentation of the graduates. In addition to serving as lead EMT instructor, Michael serves as the director of Polk County EMS. Michael, we thank you for your partnership and dedication to this program.
So every time this happens, they ask me, to present, and I'm going to keep my words kind of short and sweet and to the point because you guys are already lining up and everything. Number one, did you learn anything? And a special thank you for Mr. Jacob Allen, who was like our unofficial IT person, our class clown, class coordinator, helicopter coordinator, you name it, a go-to person of it all. As you leave tonight, this message is for the family and friends. If you don't have any family in public safety, understand a couple of things. Sometimes they're not going to make it home on time. Sometimes you get that late call. Sometimes they come in and don't really want to talk to anybody, don't take it personal, probably something went on. And that's a little insight into the future. You guys are all very well grounded. It was my pleasure to have you in the class. I learned a lot of stuff from you guys as well. As some of the great people before me would say, don't do anything stupid. Own up to your mistakes before your mistakes own you. And as one of my wonderful supervisors that's not with us anymore used to always say, if you need me, I'll call you. So I have a little something for all of you up here. So when you get your paperwork, you shake hands. You have to, by the way, it's law. I'll go ahead and begin. So crowd, if you want to hoot and holler just a little bit when your people come up, that's fine, but we'll save the big one for at the end, please, when I present. So without further ado, spring 2026 graduates, I would like to start with Mr. Jacob Allen. Benjamin Blanton. Clayton Burns. I'll pick on Clayton for a second. He took his final exam and he was like, so I passed? Really? I really passed? Yeah. To the point of, you passed, please leave. This person and I go way back from when I was worked at the college full time, knew each other's names, probably saw each other once or twice a year, Miss Melissa Carlisle. And if I butcher anybody's name tonight, I apologize. They did make it on large print specifically for me, so I wouldn't. Rafael Flores. Kat Hamilton. Micah Havalukim. You close enough? And you go from that to Charlie Martin. Eddie Reynolds. Rana Rodriguez. Bennett Ruff. Patsy Scruggs. Kelly Wallace. Cannot forget Leland Whitesides. Lyra Wiggin. Last but not certainly least, Murray White. Look pretty good, don't they? Like I said, exceptionally proud of this class. There's not really been one like this in a really long time. It was, even as speakers before me mentioned, we've had some long days, long weekends, long nights, the other instructors. For those of you that don't know this, most of us have some type of career that takes up majority of our time for this, and that we are able to, in our free time, to do this. That's why there's a couple of us talking, presenting, teaching, etc. That doesn't mean we don't take this any less serious. Absolutely love you guys. This has been a pleasure. This has been one of the, I hate to say it, but easiest classes I've ever had to do. I really feel like often that we could have not shown up at all, and 3 weeks later, you guys would have been, well, we have one question, and we've already done our homework, and we created our own test, and we took it, and we worked with the one person that didn't do good, and we're all good. That's just the kind of group this was. So before anything else, please cut loose, and I present to you the Spring 2026 Emergency Medical Technician, Isothermal Community College graduating class.
When we first walked into class back in January, most of us were strangers. 16 people from different walks of life, different families, different stories. None of us knew what these next few months would turn into. But somewhere between the lectures, practicals, clinicals, and stressful test days, we became a family. We shared stories about our lives, our families, our relationships, and the things that shaped us into who we are. We opened up about childhood experiences, struggles, and life trauma, and through that, we realized we were connected. This class became more than an EMT school. It became a support system. We celebrated birthdays together, had late night study sessions, McDonald's and Zaxby's runs, sent late night TikToks to calm each other's anxiety over exams and clinicals, shared Quizlets, clinical stories, and encouragement when someone felt like giving up. We forgot gloves on clinicals, forgot to shut ambulance doors all the way, mispronounced words like suit and cholecystitis, complained about things we didn't understand until suddenly, one day everything clicked. We laughed until our cheeks hurt, and yes, sometimes we cried over test scores too. But eventually those tears turned into relief because somehow, together, we all passed. We celebrated each other's success instead of competing with one another, and that says a lot about this class. Between ugly shirts, Alani's, Saturday lunches, movies with friends, hide and seek and Jeopardy games, checking out cars, tours of the Comm Center and ICC campus, and learning how to drive the ambulance, we created memories that none of us will ever forget. But underneath all the jokes, stress, caffeine, and chaos, something bigger was happening. We were becoming EMTs. We learned how to stay calm when things are not calm, how to care for people on the worst days of their lives, how to trust ourselves, trust our training, and how to trust each other. And the truth is, none of us would have made it this far or in the same way without the people sitting beside us. So no matter where life takes us after today, EMS, fire, nursing, paramedic school, or somewhere completely different, I hope we always remember this class and what we built together. Remember the friendships, remember the laughter, remember the moments you doubted yourself but kept going anyways. And most importantly, be sassy and safe. Beep, 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 beep. Cap refill time. Watch for stop signs. Always have gloves. You got this. Congratulations, classmates. We made it.
All right, can all students rise and raise your right hand and repeat after me? Be it pledged as an emergency medical technician, I will honor the physical and judicial laws of God and man. I will follow that reading which, according to my ability and judgment, I consider for the benefit of my patients, and I will abstain from whatever is harmful or destructive, nor shall I suggest any such into whatever homes I enter. I will enter only for the benefit of the sick and injured. I will respect the privacy of those I serve, never revealing what I see or hear in the lives, unless required by law. I shall share my medical knowledge, who may benefit from those I've learned. I will serve unselfishly and continuously in order to help make a better world for all mankind. Will I continue to keep this oath unviolated? May I be granted a life of respect and honor in the practice of my profession. Should I break or violate this oath, may the consequences fall upon me accordingly. So help me God.
It was a dark and stormy night, nor'easter rolling in. It's a long 12 hours, the power's out again. I pray for inner strength and that we don't lose no lives. Just another day in the first responders' eyes. Half a cup of coffee's gone, the first run comes in. A car slid off the road, there's a family trapped within. My heart beats like a hammer, I can barely catch my breath. I'm thinking the worst and hoping for the best. Yeah, we ain't superheroes, we're just ordinary people trying to make a difference, and the first on every scene. It's a heavy, heavy burden to carry all this hurt when you can't unsee the things you've seen. It keeps going on. When those sirens are gone. Now my shift is finally over, I gotta deal with what's mine and try to find a way to leave those tragedies behind. So I hug my 2 children, I kiss on my wife. Just another day in a first responder's life. Yeah, we ain't superheroes, we're just ordinary people trying to make a difference, and the first on every scene. It's a heavy, heavy burden to carry all this hurt when you can't unsee the things you've seen. It keeps going on. When those sirens are gone. Flashing lights fill the air, broken bodies everywhere. Another bad dream is stealing my sleep. 'Cause we ain't superheroes, we're just ordinary people trying to make a difference, and the first on every scene. And it's a heavy, heavy burden to carry all this hurt when you can't unsee the things you've seen. It keeps going on. When those sirens are gone, it keeps going on. When those sirens are gone.
Good evening. My name is Caleb Johnson. I'm the Rutherford County Emergency Medical Services Director, and I also have the privilege of being one of the instructors for the EMT class. And guys, it has been a great, great opportunity and great privilege for each one of us to walk this journey with you for the last couple of months and see the growth that we've seen in each one of you since January. To the graduates, families, friends, instructors, we even have some preceptors, and the honored guests that are here, thank you for being here tonight. This is such an incredible achievement. Guys, this has been my life for 20 years, and I'm telling you, it's an incredible achievement. I remember sitting in the classroom 20 years ago, not knowing what I was going to do, hoping for a job, and now 20 years later, I'm teaching you guys and learning every day just like you guys do. And tonight is more than just a graduation ceremony. It's the beginning of a calling, because once this gets into your heart and into your blood, it is a calling. As you can ask any of the first responders just throughout the room, it is a calling. Each of you is sitting here tonight. You've chose a profession. This profession asks more of you than most careers will ever ask for you. You've chosen long hours. You've chosen difficult situations. You've even chosen sleepless nights. Emotional calls and meals, somehow, they always get interrupted. You've chosen a profession where quiet shift are words that you better not say, and you'll learn that. And somehow, after all that, you still showed up and chose the profession that you're going into. Over the past 5 months, you learned far more than just anatomy. You've learned protocols. You've learned patient assessments. You've learned how to function on caffeine. Right, Ralph? Also, gas station snacks, and approximately about 37 minutes of sleep some nights. You've mastered the art of carrying every bag from the truck that you can carry, just so you don't have to ask the fire department to carry your bags. Because nobody wants to do that, right? You also learned the universal truth about EMS. No matter how bad the day's going, there's always going to be another call. But in all seriousness, what you accomplished in the past 5 months is so remarkable. And I'm so proud of each and every one of you. You've learned how to stay calm when others panic. You've learned how to make decisions under pressure. You've learned how to care for people who are complete strangers. And you showed them dignity and respect during some of the worst moments of their lives. And perhaps most importantly, and I know you've heard this from each one of your instructors, you learned that it's not about one person. Emergency medical services is team, and it's teamwork. It's about trust. It's about a partner who hands you exactly what you need, or at least they hand you something that you can make something happen with. There'll be moments in your career that you question yourself. Every provider has them. There'll be calls that you replay over and over and over in your mind on your drive home. There'll be nights that you feel exhausted and underappreciated. And there'll be absolutely a 3 a.m. lift assist where someone says, well, while you're here, can you? And then it'll end up in an ALS call, so you can have to call them. But there'll also be moments that remind you exactly why you chose this profession. You get to comfort somebody who's terrified. You might help save a life. You hold a hand when nobody else is there. You can make a difference in ways that you'll never fully understand. So never underestimate the impact of simply showing compassion. People may forget the medications. People may not know the drug dosages. But they'll remember how you made them feel. Even on calls, that is the same way. They'll remember how you made them feel. As you move forward into this profession, remember just a few things. Always keep learning. Always stay humble. Take care of your patients and take care of each other. And never lose compassion that brought you here in the first place. Also remember, the stretcher always weighs more when you have to push it uphill. Paperwork is never finished. And when a patient says, I don't want to go to the hospital, but you're probably going to be there a while. Now, to the families and loved ones here tonight, this accomplishment belongs to you as well. You sacrificed time. You sacrificed them being with us. You sacrificed them doing clinicals. But you supported them all the way. Through their stress, through their exhaustion, you encouraged them, even when the journey got difficult. Graduates, tonight you earn more than a certificate, you earn more than a patch. You earn the responsibility and the privilege of serving others. And I'm going to say that one more time. Tonight you earn the responsibility and the privilege of serving others. Wear that responsibility with pride. Wear your uniform with honor, and never forget that community you serve is always dependent on you. Congratulations, class of 2026. You made it through clinicals, testing, scenarios, some PowerPoints that seemed that they would never end, and you made it through the long EMS calls that you guys got to sit through during clinicals. That alone deserves applause, and we're proud of you and cannot wait to see what kind of impact each one of you are going to have in the emergency service world. So if everybody please would join me one more time in congratulating the class of 2026 as EMTs. So if you guys would come up here and let them take a class picture, and then families, y'all can hug them, love on them, anything you want to do. Thank you.